Hey, hello, and how are you doing? Hope you're doing well. I hope you're doing well. I hope you are healthy. Um, Not in any pain, discomfort, or just maybe not even physical, but just internally. I hope you're doing well. If you're not, hang in there. Things will get better. Find somebody to talk to. Okay? Even if it means just commenting down below on this video. If you got something on your mind, you got something you need to get off your chest. If something's bugging you or bothering you, comment down below. I'll read the comment and it'll be like you're talking to somebody. And, if I get the feeling that there's something and maybe you'd like some advice, you'd like my take on it, my thoughts, my feelings, I will certainly reply back to you. Healthy body, healthy mind. And I don't mean that so much as to say that, if you have a healthy body, if you're in shape and you take care of yourself physically, that automatically means that your mind's going to be healthy. That's not always the case. But those two things can go hand in hand. And in particular with your mind, I've always said you gotta exercise your mind as much as you exercise your body, and that's not just from a standpoint of doing things to keep your brain active and to keep you learning and everything like that, but also just so on like a like an emotion stance to where you're healthy. And, there's a lot of people out there that deal with stuff, and in particular I see this a lot of times with us guys, unfortunately, have a bad habit of not opening up and not reaching out when we're going through a rough time and we're having we're in a bad spot, whether we're angry about something or just depressed about something, and we've all deal with it once, maybe once in a blue moon, but everybody deals with it. Everybody has a down moment. And I think there's a certain point to where, if those moments get to where, it's really weighing on you, that's the tipping point to where you need to swallow your pride and not worry about what society might think or what your friends might think or whatever, but find somebody to talk to. So I hope if anybody out there, if you're dealing with something, talk to somebody. It really helps a lot. I've been blessed to where, like I said, even me, I've had down moments where I was pissed off about something, or I was upset, sad about things. Normally for me, it's been something more tangible. I would say like when there's been a death in the family, or like the last dog I had, when I had to put Starbuck down. Obviously, I was openly admit I was pretty tore up for a couple of days. That was my little buddy, if you will, for 13 years. When I had a rough day at work, it all went away when I came home, because I came home and there was Starbuck greet me at the door. But times like those are the times when I got upset and stuff like that, and I did. I talked to my mom, I talked to my daughter. Sometimes you don't have those people, or sometimes it's something where you don't really want to. Maybe you don't want to talk to people that close to you, but you just want somebody, anybody, just to sit and just talk. Like going to and talking to the bartender. He don't know you, you don't know him, but he'll sit and listen. Mainly because you're probably there and you're buying a beer or something. But regardless, find somebody to talk to. All right, that was my little PSA, public service announcement. Do take it to heart, though. I sincerely mean it. If you got something, and no matter what it is, If you got something and you just need to unload it a little bit, drop a comment down below. I'll be happy to listen to whatever ills might be troubling you. Let's dive into some more comics, shall we? That always makes things better. It looks like, at least in this stack, because we've been, in the last video, I think it was all DC, if I'm remembering correctly. Which might not be right, but I'm thinking everything we've seen so far was DC. So now it looks like we might get into some independent comics, which isn't always a bad thing. A lot of people kind of look down on independent comics, but sometimes you can find kind of diamonds in the rough when it comes to independent publishers. You might find something you've never seen before. And, there have been some independent publishers that develop characters, and those characters, just really blow up. Most prominently, I guess the biggest one you could probably think of and kind of look at in that term would be like Spawn. As at the time Spawn first came out, Image was really relatively new. Todd McFarlane and some of his other, Rob Liefeld and some of the other artists that were at the time mainly working for Marvel decided to go off and do their own thing, and they started Image. And at the time, like the first Spawn comic come out, Image was really new. They were really considered kind of an independent publisher. Of course, now they're kind of almost on the same tier as Marvel and DC. But yeah, that'd probably be the biggest one I would put into that category. So any of these smaller independent publishers, they could bring a comic out, and if the right person sees it, reads it, and says, I love this, I would love to do something like this. I could see a TV series with these characters. Now, granted, I'm not one of those people that has the influence or the financial backing or not like that to see something and say, oh, I could see a TV series with this. I mean, I can say that, but I don't have the means to do anything with it. Outside of maybe, if something really appeals to me, I might write to somebody at one of the studios. Somebody that maybe does it, in particular Netflix. Netflix is a great place. Or Max. Although Max is pretty much DC, right? So yeah, Netflix would probably be one of the best places to maybe write to them and say, hey, you need to look into this, this story. And, who knows? You know what I mean? Who knows? Right, we have number 6. This is from Alterna Comics. The giant size finale, 6 of 6. So number 6 in a 6-issue limited series, Exilium. Never heard of it? Looks like it takes place in space, maybe? Got a couple of aliens there. No, never heard of it. Next, we have Malibu Comics. I recognize Malibu Comics. We have Prime, guest starring Arena. This artwork has a very image and kind of maybe Valiant Comics, Defiant Comics. A lot of those artists have similar styles, and a lot of them I think actually have worked with each other in the past, maybe at the same companies and stuff. Next we have, speaking of Valiant Comics, we have Valiant Comics number 19, Exo Man of War. I have to be entirely honest, I'm not a big fan of this cover. I mean, the artwork itself is great, but what the hell am I looking at? It's one of these covers that I think, unless you're actually reading it, and in particular maybe the bookend comics, the one that came before this one, maybe even the one that comes after it, to get the full context. Then the cover, you might be able to look at the cover and say, oh, yeah, you know exactly what that is. But just looking at this without any context, I have no idea what that is. I'm guessing ice, maybe? Or metal, stone? I don't know. Next, we have Capital Comics. We have Nexus number 5. To see, this might be one of those ones that this comic might be an absolutely incredible comic book, which I will, I'll read it and see what I think of it. But this character might be, I can see this character maybe being, if the comic's really good, maybe it might make a great animated series on like Netflix. Next, Ocean Comics, we have Street Fighter. I don't think this is the Street Fighter that we all think of when we hear Street Fighter, which is the video game, which I actually have downstairs. I've got a big, like, full-size arcade unit that's got like 20 different games, and a lot of the Street Fighter games are on it. But yeah, this, it's funny because the font on the title actually reminds me of the actual Street Fighter video game title. But this is not, this does not have anything to do with that. See how this, am I crazy, or does that kind of look like similar to the actual Street Fighter logo? But looking at it, yeah, I don't think this has anything to do with like that actual Street Fighter. Next, we have one of the free Comic Book Day comics. This is Resurrection. Okay. Not sure what that is, but there we go. Next, we have Wildstorm. This is June 2010. We have DB8, Gods and Monsters, Part 1 of 8. DB8, that sounds really familiar. I don't know where I've heard of it before. Next, we have Top Cow. And Joe's Comics. Hey, I didn't know that comic publisher. That's my actual name, in case you didn't know. I go by just Average Schmo on here, but my actual name is Joe. Yeah, Top Cow. Of course, everybody knows Top Cow. Maybe they're like I think Lady Death comics, or Top Cow title. Or in, I don't know whether Lady Death was like a straight Top Cow comic title, but I think they're, at least for a period of time, Top Cow and one of the other companies like shared that title hand in hand, and they had like crossing storylines and stuff. It says a $2.75 sticker on the outside of it, not on the comic itself, but on the poly bag. So they were looking to sell it for 25 cents more than the actual cover price. But we have J. Michael Straczynski's Rising Stars. Of course, I can't think of his other titles right offhand, but the name Michael Straczynski definitely bogs my memory. Not jogs. That'd be bog wouldn't be the right term. Jogs my memory. All right, I have another Top Cow, Image. They've done a lot of titles with Image. We have Eve. Roto Mecha. That is a really cool cover. Yeah. Although I don't know how well that armor. Yeah, I mean, realistically, I mean, would you really have armor like that to where that part of you is just out for the world to see? Probably not. I mean, to me, that would be like a big, no pun intended, but that would be kind of like a weak point, wouldn't it, in your armor? Just saying. But yeah, I mean, I love, what I love about these two is like even the inside of it, you know, it's all glossy pages. The artwork is just phenomenal. I mean, anybody that can look at like a comic like this and think that, one, that it's just for kids. You know, this is not a title that's really probably for kids. But also these artists aren't real artists. You know, you hear that once in a while. You people look at it and they think, oh, they're not real artists. You know, they're not painters. They're not. I'm sorry, but there's some comic books that I've seen that I think put real artists to shame. I've tried drawing, so like this before. Just comics. Yeah, I can't do it. Very talented artist. Next we have Image, number 15. This is Mind the Gap. Okay. That's not a traditional... When I think of Image, that's not like the traditional artwork I think of an Image title. But alright, we'll do the rest of this stack, and then we'll have to do a third video, because, I mean, it takes a while to go through these. Oh, we have a number 1. Well, 1 of 4. So it's a limited series from Dark Horse, Outer Orbit. See, now this looks like another one that might be, this might be a good one that they could do a good animated series for. It kind of reminds me of Creature Commandos. A little bit. Alright, next we have Action Lab Comics number 1, Sasquatch in Love. Okay. I don't know whether that would make a good animated series. Valiant Comic number 16 of Rye and the Future Force. I do remember reading quite a few issues of this. Next we have from DW, we have Necro War. This has got one of those fold out covers. Yeah, this definitely looks like it's probably not a child friendly title either. I noticed a little gore on the inside of it. I like the artwork though. That's pretty cool. Next we have number 3 of 4 from Season 6. I remember this title. Topps Comics. Of course, comes with a trading card in the back. Valiant Comics number 1, The Hardcore. See, now I can see that as like a live action like series. You know, just like a good action, like primetime action series. Oh, this one looks interesting. Oh, it's got Silvestri. It's probably Mark Silvestri. Top Cow Image. Another number 1. Hunter Killer. Oh. I mean, is this signed or something? I don't see don't see an autograph on the cover. I'll have to open it up and look on the inside. Okay. It's not signed. But it says, Certificate of Authenticity, Dynamic Forces Inc. has issued this certificate to authenticate this copy of Hunter Killer #1 DF exclusive cover as one of a specially limited series of 2,000 copies. So this is number 876. So there's that. So this was obviously a cover that they only did 2,000 copies of. So that's pretty cool. That'll definitely, I mean, after I read it, of course, that could definitely be one to sending it graded, because it looks like it's in excellent condition. All right, well, there we go. That was the next batch. We'll keep going through these. I mean, however many videos it takes to get through this, we will, but I want to keep them right around the 20 minute mark. Try to. So, hopefully that's okay with you. Hopefully you'll enjoy it, or you want to come back and see what else I pull out of this box. Obviously, we'll probably get into some Marvel on the other side of the box. So, if you're a big Marvel fan, you'll want to stay tuned for that. Comment down below. Let me know which one piqued your interest. Yeah. And until next time, as always, look out for yourself, everyone around you, so you have a much better chance of staying safe and healthy. So until the next time, where we'll keep just rummaging through this box of comics, take it easy.